Hey guys, welcome back to markdillon.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, I certainly hope you will click the subscribe button. So, on to tonight's question, which is kind of a heavy one. Dear Mark, thanks for your advice videos. I think they're really helpful. I don't think you've ever talked about how to handle an abusive relationship. I've been dating my boyfriend for 6 months and we've had our fair share of heated arguments, but the last one got physical. He slapped me and I instinctively retaliated. It's not in my nature to fight, but I felt I had to defend myself. He's apologized and it hasn't happened since, but we haven't had an argument either. A couple of my friends say I should break it off. I'm not sure what to do. Any ideas, Tim? All right, Tim. I think I've probably done one or two videos about abusive situations, but I'll be glad to answer your question. Your friends are exactly right. You should leave. You should break up with this guy immediately. Uh, if after 6 months you're already having really heated arguments and now it's progressing to getting physical, this person obviously has some anger management issues. You didn't say this, but there may be substance abuse issues, drugs, alcohol, I don't know. But at the very least, behavioral problems, trying to keep his temper under control. He's obviously struggling with that. Um, I would say, you defending yourself, in my opinion, is personally is perfectly acceptable. If someone hits me, I'm gonna hit them back. That's just the way I would handle that. But more importantly, you have to get yourself out of the situation so you don't find yourself having to make that choice again. It's unlikely this will improve. Abusive situations rarely get better over time. More often than not, they get worse. I really believe that all the tragic statistics that go along with domestic abuse, a lot of those tragedies could have been prevented had the person who was the victim left at the first sign of abuse rather than staying month after month, year after year as it continues to escalate. Again, I don't think these things get better. The victimizer will always have an excuse and an apology, and they're going to pretend that they were completely out of control, and they'll blame it on alcohol or drugs or stress at work or whatever. There's always some reason why the argument devolved into physical violence. No relationship is perfect. We're all going to have arguments. Some arguments are more heated than others, but your relationship should be holy ground, so to speak. Physical violence should never be an option. It should never be on the table. And what happens is people in their mind, they tend to start to rationalize it and say, well, sometimes friends get into a scuffle, sometimes strangers get into an argument and they get into a fight. But first of all, I don't want a friend who I'm going to end up fist fighting with regularly either. But I most certainly don't want to have a romantic partner that I may be spending the rest of my life with who's going to think that that's an option. That should be completely off the table. That is to me one of the most serious violations of trust in a relationship. Because here you are, you're investing your emotional energy into this person. There's a certain level of security you should have with a long-term boyfriend or partner, husband. And when they violate that by getting into a physical altercation with you over an argument, that's such a big betrayal of the trust you've given this person that I don't think that's something you should overlook. This is 6 months. Ask yourself what it would be like 6 years from now. Do you really think it's better? Do you really think this person has suddenly completely uh, overcome his behavioral problems with his temper? Do you really think now that he's hit you once that that's not going to be an option that's on the table the next time, and then you're going to have to fight back, and you could hurt him, he could hurt you, who knows? Is it worth it? I would say no. I think we all have our first and foremost duty is to love ourselves enough to protect the um, the security of our physical well-being, of our emotional well-being, and you just don't give people too many second chances to trespass on those things. I really believe more often than not, he who turns the other cheek is slapped with the other hand. And in this case, that is a literal analogy. I just think that if you give this guy a second chance, you're likely to find yourself in an increasingly more violent argument with him down the road. So your friends are right, and the way I think you should look at it is, if you had a son, or you had a daughter, or you had a sister, and this happened to her, would you advise her to give this person a second chance? Probably not. So if you would love that person enough to tell them to leave, love yourself enough to actually leave. That's what you have to do, in my opinion. And if you stay, fine. But if it happens even one more time, or comes anywhere close to happening one more time, then I would say absolutely, without question, pack your stuff, get out, never talk to this person again. So there you go, Tim. I hope this is helpful to you. Good luck with your situation. And guys, thanks for tuning in to markdillon.com.